Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'll be discussing about NTSE Stage II question paper. This exam was held on February 14, 2021. In this video, I'll be mainly discussing SAT paper biology part. Let's start. Here is the first question. A taxonomist during his voyage found a solitary marine animal with spines on skin made of calcium carbonate. However, its coelom was made of pouches pinched off from endoderm. Assign the specimen to the most appropriate phylum. The options are Chordata, Nematoda, Coelenterata, and Echinodermata. Among these four options, the most appropriate one is Echinodermata. Its meaning is spiny skinned animals. In Echinodermata, spiny skinned animals are placed, and also in Echinodermata, coelom is made of pouches pinched off from endoderm. So the right answer for this question is the fourth option, that is Echinodermata. Here is the second question. An individual with genotype capital A small a, capital B small b, capital C small c, small d, capital E small e is crossed with another individual with genotype capital A, small b, capital C small c, capital D small d, capital E small e. So this is a cross. Now, assuming Mendelian pattern of inheritance predict the proportion of small a, small b, small c, small c, small d, small e among the progeny of this cross. So the options here are 1 by 32, 1 by 64, 1 by 128, and 1 by 256. Let's find out. Here, parent individuals, we have to check the heterozygous condition. Here, capital A small a is one heterozygous condition. Capital B small b, capital C small c, capital E small e. So totally 4 heterozygous conditions can be seen here. So the number of gametes formed would be 2 power n, that is nothing but 2 power 4, that is 16. So 16 types of gametes are formed by one of the parent individual. Now, if we check the second parent organism, okay, here also 1, 2, 3, and 4 heterozygous conditions can be seen. So here the number of gametes formed would be again 2 power n, that is 2 power 4, and that is 16. So 16 into 16, that is 256. Okay, now so total number of offsprings that are formed from this would be 256, and among the progeny we have to find out the completely recessive offspring, and that is only one according to Mendelian pattern of inheritance. Okay, so obviously 1 out of 256 is the correct answer. So option 4 is the right answer for this question. Now the third question. Which one of the 4 methods of propagation is likely to lead to maximum variation in DNA sequence through generations. And the options are budding in hydra, binary fission in amoeba, reproduction in human beings, vegetative propagation in sugarcane. And here the question is about maximum variation in DNA sequence. So here budding is a sexual method of reproduction. Binary fission is also a sexual method of reproduction. Vegetative propagation in sugarcane is also a sexual method of reproduction. But reproduction in human beings is sexual reproduction. Now, here we can see in case of asexual reproduction, very few variations are seen. And those variations could be because of inaccurate DNA copying. Okay? But in case of sexual reproduction, large number of variations, maximum variations can be seen because of the meiosis process, because of the recombination process during meiosis. Okay? So, maximum number of variations can be seen in sexual reproduction, that is seen in human beings. So, the correct option for this question is the third option, that is reproduction in human beings. Now, moving to the next question, question number 4. A case of biomagnification was being studied. A laboratory received equal quantities of 3 samples M, N and O. The levels of pesticides found in these samples are as follows. M sample 1 mg, N sample 0.2 mg and O sample 3 mg. So these are the levels. Now let's see what is the question. The samples M, N and O respectively could be. So we have to find out what could be these samples. So here biomagnification is nothing but accumulation and progressive increase in the concentration of non-degradable chemicals in the successive trophic levels of food chain. So here we have to find out the trophic level 1, trophic level 2 and 3. So obviously in the first trophic level the concentration will be less, and in the highest trophic level the concentration is maximum. So among the 3 given samples, as per the given information, okay, 0.2 mg is the least value. So sample N could be trophic level 1, and always as in most of the food chains we find producers occupy the trophic level 1. So here N could be grass, and the second is second highest value is 1 mg, so that could be herbivore. So herbivore here in this given information is grasshopper. So M could be grasshopper, and the highest concentration is seen with the sample O. So here that could be a bird. So adipose tissue of birds. So the answer more appropriate one, okay, now M is grasshopper and N is grass and O is adipose tissue of birds. Okay, so more appropriate answer is option 2. Now let's discuss the question number 5. Illustration of pyramid of number of an aquatic ecosystem is given here. In this pyramid of number, you can see sea lion on the top shown here, herring and zooplanktons, then phytoplanktons. This is pyramid of numbers in this aquatic ecosystem. Now, the pyramid of energy for the same ecosystem would be. So here, one of the very important aspect that you should remember is pyramid of energy is always upright. Okay, it means the energy available at each trophic level will decrease from trophic level 1 to the last trophic level. So always the pyramid of energy is upright. So among the given four options, here we find the upright pyramid. Here the energy available at phytoplanktons trophic level 1 is highest, and then it is decreasing from trophic level 1 to trophic level 2, and then trophic level 3, and then finally trophic level 4 has a less amount of energy available. So the option will be fourth option. Fourth option is the most appropriate option among the given options. Now let's discuss about question number 6. Which of the following traits would an evolutionary biologist consider to understand the divergent evolution process? In divergent evolution, organisms have common origin and they perform different functions. So here among the given options, if we look here, hind limb of sheep, flipper of whale, wing of a bat. So they are not homologous organs. They do not have common origin. Okay. And moving to the second option, flipper of shark, flipper of penguin, flipper of dolphin. All these they perform same function. But in case of divergent evolution, the organs they perform different functions. Homologous organs perform different functions. This divergent evolution is found in homologous organs, and these are not, okay, now they are performing the same function, okay, now so they are not the homologous organs. Actually the homologous organs have common origin and they are performing different functions. That explains divergent evolution. Here, as they are performing the same function, that is swimming, that cannot be divergent evolution. Now moving to the next, wing of a bat, wing of a bird, wing of a butterfly. All these three, they are performing the same function. In case of divergent evolution, organs cannot perform same function. They must perform different function in divergent evolution. Now let's check with the fourth option, human arm, seal, forelimb and wing of a bird. So here all these three organs, they have a common origin. They perform different functions. So if the organs have common origin and they are performing different functions, they are called homologous organs and they explain divergent evolution. So this is the sixth question, and the answer, most appropriate option is option number 4. Now question number 7. In adjacent agricultural lands of nearly equal dimensions, two farmers A and B had cultivated crops of their choice and observed standard practices. A pathogen attacked the crops and destroyed it in the land belonging to farmer A, as a result of which he suffered complete loss. Although the pathogen attacked the adjacent land belonging to farmer B, he was able to earn some money by selling the yield. The possible explanation for the above is the first option. Farmer A must have cultivated only one crop, whereas farmer B cultivated two crops. Second option. Farmers A and B must have cultivated the same crop with a fence between the two agricultural lands. Third option, farmer A over irrigated the crop which attracted the pathogen. And the option 4, farmer B removed weeds from the cultivated land. Among the four options, the most appropriate answer could be first option, because farmer A must have cultivated only one crop, so he suffered complete loss, while farmer B cultivated two crops, and here because of which, even if the pathogen attacks one crop, there is another crop which was growing in the field which gave the farmer the yield, because of which he earned some money by selling the yield. So most appropriate answer is option number 1. Now let's discuss the question number 8. A biology teacher placed a hen's egg in 3 different solutions. Solution A is pure water, solution B is saturated salt solution, solution C is hydrochloric acid. Okay? Now, the sequence of treatments and the probable effect on the egg are listed below. 1. Treatment with A, then treatment with B, and finally C. And the probable effect is remains unchanged. Number 2, treatment with B, then C, and then A. Probable effect is the egg swells. Now, third condition, treatment with C, then A, and then with B, and the probable effect shrinks. Now, the last one, treatment with B, then with A, and finally with C. The probable effect loses salts. Now, after all these, okay, based on the above sequence to treatment, which one of the options will be correct? So let's check. First, treatment with A, hence egg placed in pure water, it will remain as such unchanged. Then when placed in B, then also it remained unchanged. But when placed in C, hydrochloric acid, hence egg, okay, na, it loses its shell, because in hydrochloric acid the calcium carbonate shell gets dissolved. So the first Roman 1, this condition remains unchanged is wrong. This cannot be the correct effect. Okay. Now moving to the next. Treatment with solution B, that is saturated salt solution. First it will remain unchanged. Then when placed in C, hydrochloric acid, so eggshell will get dissolved. After dissolution of eggshell, when it is placed in A is a pure water. So obviously endosmosis occur and the egg cell will swell. This is correct. First one was wrong, second is correct. Now moving to the third, C. First treatment with C. That means eggshell gets dissolved in hydrochloric acid. Then after that, if it is placed in A solution, then endosmosis take place, it will swell, and finally when it is placed in saturated salt solution, exosmosis occur and it will shrink. So this is also the correct effect. Now moving to the last one, B. First the egg, hence egg is placed in saturated salt solution, remains unchanged. Then placed in A, then remains unchanged, and placed in C. Here what happens? The eggshell gets dissolved, but the effect given is loses salts. This is wrong. So among the four conditions and their probable effects, second and third are correct. Okay, so option will be third option. So most appropriate answer is third option. Okay, so this is about 8th question. Now moving to the next question, That is question number 9. Observe the flowchart given below, and the flowchart is tadpole, tadpoles, tadpoles. This is condition A. Now, here water without iodine is a condition. If water do not contain iodine, then tadpoles are remaining as such. Now, second condition, tadpoles placed in water with iodine, then they are transformed into frogs. So this is a difference. Which of the following best explains the observed results? Option 1. Iodine helps to produce thyroxine. Yes, it is correct. Iodine inhibits thyroid gland activity. This is wrong. Absence of iodine leads to starvation. This is wrong. Iodine promotes cell growth and division. So this is not the correct explanation. Now, here iodine is helping to produce thyroxine hormone, and thyroxine is playing very important role in the metamorphosis process. Metamorphosis is nothing but transformation of larva into adult through drastic changes. Here the larva is tadpole. When it is placed in water with iodine, this iodine is helping in the production of thyroxine hormone in its body, and that helps in metamorphosis. It is nothing but transformation of larva into adult through drastic changes. So the most appropriate option is option number 1. Now let's discuss about question number 10. An experiment conducted in the laboratory is tabulated below. Test tube A. First saliva was added in it, then iodine solution was added, then it is kept for incubation. Test tube B. First of all starch is added, then saliva is added, then it is kept for incubation. Test tube C. First of all starch is added, then saliva is added. After that enzyme inhibitor is added, then it is kept for incubation, and after that iodine is added. Now, based on this experiment, what would be the color observed in test tubes A, B and C at the end of the experiment? Let's check. Here test tube A, saliva is present and then iodine solution is present. So the color of the iodine solution is yellowish brown, like that. So probably yellow color can be seen in test tube A. Now test tube B, starch is present in saliva, only that much. So this test tube will not show any color. Then test tube C, starch, saliva is present. In saliva enzyme is present, that is amylase enzyme, which act on starch, which digest starch into maltose. But enzyme inhibitor is also added. So what happens? Salivary amylase will be non-functional. Then after that it is incubated and iodine is added. As salivary amylase is inhibited, starch will remain. So when iodine is added to starch, blue-black color is seen. So that is iodine test. So the more appropriate answer, okay, now test tube A will have yellow color, test tube B will have no color, and test tube C blue-black color. So the appropriate option for this question is first option. Now question number 11. The presence of a specific molecule called markers in an organelle can be used to identify the presence of that organelle. A researcher has 3 test tubes with organelles A, B and C each of which shows the presence of one marker as shown below. Here, test tube A has marker cytochrome oxidase enzyme, okay, and its function is it is involved in ATP synthesis. Test tube B has ribosomal RNA as a marker, and this is a part of ribosome. Now, test tube C has acid hydrolases which degrade different molecules. So this is about um, the organelles present in 3 different test tubes, okay, now the markers and their functions. Okay, now we have to find out what are the names of these organelles. Here, based on the function and based on the marker, we can predict. Here, cytochrome oxidase enzyme is involved in ATP synthesis, and ATP synthesis take place in mitochondria. So the organelle A could be mitochondria. Now B, here organelle B, ribosomal RNA is present in it. So obviously ribosomal RNA is found either in ribosomes or in rough endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, now so it is a part of ribosome. So obviously the option can be rough endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, now moving to the third one, that is C, acid hydrolases. These are the enzymes present in the organelle lysosomes, and these enzymes, acid hydrolases, they degrade different molecules. So the organelle C can be lysosomes. Okay, so among the given options, the more appropriate option is option 2, that is A is mitochondria, B is rough endoplasmic reticulum, and C is lysosome. Let's discuss about question number 12. Positions of endocrine glands are labeled A to E in the given diagram. You can see here A, this is B, C, D and E. Like this they are labeled. Match the symbols of glands in column 1 with the type of hormone it secretes given in column 2. Yes. So here glands are given in one column, and hormones secreted by those glands are given in column 2. Choose the correct combination from the following. Here in option 1, A is given. A endocrine gland and 1 is progesterone hormone. Let's check. A is which endocrine gland? This is A. So obviously this is a female reproductive system, and here this is ovary. So ovary secretes progesterone. So that is correct. Now moving to B. B endocrine gland is here. This is pancreas. Okay. Now this B endocrine gland secrete insulin. It is correct. Pancreas secretes insulin. So B is 2. It is correct. Now moving to C. C here is above the kidney on the top. Adrenal gland is present. Okay. So adrenal gland secretes. We have to find out the option now. Parathyroid hormone is wrong. Melatonin is wrong. Follicle stimulating hormone is wrong. Thyroxine is wrong. Aldosterone. Yes. This C endocrine gland, that is adrenal gland, will secrete aldosterone. So C will be 7. And then D, here it is labeled as D. This is the position for thyroid gland and parathyroid glands. Let's check. So this D is given 3. It means D is secreting parathyroid hormone. Obviously it is correct. This is the position of thyroid gland and parathyroid gland. If D is a parathyroid gland, it secretes parathyroid hormone. So D3 is correct. And finally E is given. E is here it is endocrine gland is shown in the region of brain. Now let's check the hormone. So E is given 5. It is matched with 5. So 5 is follicle stimulating hormone. So obviously in this region of brain, in the part here, we can see pituitary gland and it secretes follicle stimulating hormone. So obviously option 1 is the most appropriate option among the given 4 options. Now let's discuss the last question of biology part of SAT paper. The 13th question, it is virulent forms of the bacteria Staphylococcus aureus is a human pathogen, some strains of which cause flesh-eating disease. Earlier, the antibiotic penicillin was used to control this pathogen. After some years, penicillin was ineffective. Hence, a powerful antibiotic, methicillin, was used in treatments. Subsequently, methicillin was also became ineffective and the strains showed resistance to multiple antibiotics, also called multi-drug resistance. Which one of the following statements regarding development of multi-drug resistance is correct? Let's check the options. Option 1. Antibiotics lead to mutation in the DNA of bacterium, thus creating drug resistance strains. So, this could not be the perfect answer. Let's check with the other options. Option 2. Antibiotics helped in the selection for bacterium with mutations in the DNA conferring drug resistance which were already present in the population. So, this could be the more appropriate answer because antibiotics helped in the selection of the bacteria with mutations in the DNA conferring drug resistance which were already present in the population. Okay, now, so mutations, the variations are already present in the bacteria and these antibiotics helped in the selection process of the bacteria. Okay, so this is more appropriate answer. Even if we check the other options like even without the use of antibiotics, drug resistance strains would have evolved at the rate as observed in the above situation. No, this could not be possible. And the last option, presence of antibiotics induces changes in the metabolism. No, this cannot be correct. So the most appropriate option for question number 13 is option 2, that is antibiotics helped in the selection for bacterium with mutations in the DNA conferring drug resistance which were already present in the population. So this is all about the biology part of SAT paper. If you are new to my channel, subscribe for more videos. If you liked it, share it with your friends. I'll be back with another video. Have a great day. Thank you all.